Hey everybody, it's Mike Stott with the Cherokee Association of Realtors, your current president, and I have a special co-presenter today.
Ta-da!
Our next president. In fact, we're going to have a special offer where you get to see her installed as president in a couple of days. But, as always, we're going to be giving you some education and maybe a tip or two on the stats on Cherokee County for October, although it is November. And we know that you serve our communities, protect private property rights, and elevate our profession. In fact, we just met with the Chamber of Commerce yesterday, and we're going to get more involved in the local Chamber of Commerce because they're a big organization here in Cherokee County. We're a big organization. We're going to continue to make some changes so that we're more involved with everything Cherokee County. This month, I know the numbers get a little bit smaller because we have, 14 years or 13 years worth of data. But our median sales price actually dropped from $487,000 to $480,000. Now, if you look historically, we see a seasonal cycle each year. So this was to be expected. I didn't put the numbers in, but we closed 15 homes over $1 million, and we have 158 active still. What we can see, though, is over the last 12 plus years, our appreciation rate has been 9.5% per year. Although the last 2 years, it looks like it's going to slow to below 7%. And we had a couple of go-go years in 20, 21, 22. Supply and demand. It's all supply and demand. So you want to keep watching your months of remaining inventory and the housing in the market that you're working with. When we look at the number of sales, we've had a 48% drop. We had 287 homes closed, which was actually better than a year ago, but way short of what we saw right during COVID in 2020. We had 559 closings, which is almost a 50% drop in the number of closings. And I think many of us are seeing that we're not having as many closings lately. I know.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of that in my personal business as well.
Yeah, so I haven't had a closing in September or October, but luckily in November I have 5 closings. So it's working, but it looks like this year we're going to average somewhere around the same. About 317, or so per month closings, 320, but I suspect the numbers are going to come down in November and December. So keep these numbers, tell your sellers it's a good time to sell during the holidays. Houses look nice. They're decorated for the Christmas time or the Halloween or Thanksgiving, and people are thinking about families, and the buyers that are out there looking tend to be a little more serious. So don't let people tell you we're going to wait till after the first of the year. This is everything in Cherokee County as of 10/4. I use FMLS, and just so you know that agents enter their closings into FMLS. They're supposed to do it within 3 days of closing, but sometimes they're as late as 4 or 5 months. So if you go and did these numbers yourself, you might get 1 or 2 number difference. We have 1,006 active listings in Cherokee County. That's up from 1,003 last month. Look at what the median price is, Diana, $572,000. That's the median asking price. And we have 874 homes that are detached. 125 are asking over $1 million. That's 14% of what's active, and there's 27 under contract. So we're going to see a good high teens figure closing over $1 million each of the next 2 months. Attached homes, we have 199 attached homes on the market. The lowest is $180,000. It's a real fixer-upper. The median price is $485,000. Look at what the median sales price is $480,000. The median asking price of a condo or a townhouse is $485,000. What this shows to me, with a median asking price of $572 and a median sales price almost $100,000 less at $480, it means that we have sellers pushing the envelope. Now, median is half above and half below. So I like to say, how many homes are on the market that are under $480,000? There's 325. So if you looked, you had a buyer coming in from out of state and they wanted to buy a median priced home. In all of Cherokee County, there's only 325 active properties. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Now, under 300,000, I still get referrals all the time. People want to buy something in Cherokee County for $250,000. We have 17 homes for sale. 2 are modular homes. one's on leasehold land, 11 are self-identified as needing TLC or fixer-uppers, 4 are attached homes, and 0 this month
Goose egg.
are move-in ready. Now, it doesn't mean any of these 17 homes aren't good buys. It just means that somebody's going to buy it and put some money into it. So fairly strong statistics to only have 17 homes active in all of Cherokee County below 300,000. When I moved here 6-7 years ago, I would have never thought that. I mean, it's just insane. Here's for us visuals, we can see what's gone on the last 13 months. We've basically remained static. 480,000, 480,000. Now we had the dip through December of last year. It went up through March and June of this year. Usually we see the dip in the summer months, and we're starting to see our seasonal dip. And if you did this for 10 or 15 years, it's going to be up in the summer, down in the winter, up in the summer, down in the winter as you go through if you look at the statistics. So again, it's a good time to put the home on the market. It's not that these homes are actually worth less or that your home's going to be worth less. It's just that the less expensive homes tend to sell during the off season. During the summer is when you get all the family homes that are going to be more expensive selling. Sort of another interesting statistic people are always talking about, the for rent market. Well, if I can't buy, I'm just going to rent. Well, the darn median rental price is $2,400 for a single family house at $2,275. That's the average over the last 6 months. And we only have 95 active rentals for houses and 64 townhouses. Now, there's actually a lot more townhouses or apartments because those apartment complexes put 1 or 2 in rather than all 20 or 30 that they have renting. But at this price, people are going to need to be making $84,000 a year to rent the average house. And so we're working, as your board of directors, we're working with our local politicians and the Chamber of Commerce and everybody that we can talk to, telling people, and again, I implore you to talk to your clients, help your grandchildren and children get into their first house. It's hard to get into their first house now because they need to make $110,000 a year in order to qualify. That's with no other debt for a median price house. And I don't know how, if you're renting at $2,400 a month, and you're making $80,000 a year, and you end up spending $3,000 a month on your house, that's half of your income.
It's pretty tough to save for.
It's tough to save that 10%, 3%, or 20% down payment. We have a lot going on in the Cherokee Association of Realtors. The main reason why I wanted Diana here is she's getting installed. Next, Wednesday, November 20th, we're going to have a luncheon rather than a breakfast meeting this time. It's going to be at our normal spot, the Timbers at Etowah. It's going to have a lot of fun. Tell us a little more about it.
So we're going to have a blast. We are having some new board members join our board of directors. I'm super excited for that. I'm also excited because we are going to be doing a coat drive. We're coming up on the winter months, and as you know, a lot of our community does need some help, and there are a lot of kids that end up going to school that don't have the proper outer coverings to keep them warm when they're playing outside on the playground. So if you've got, and there's kids of all sizes. So if you've got little ones, if you've got big and tall ones, by all means, please bring your scarves, gloves, mittens, coats, sweaters, anything and everything that doesn't fit you or doesn't fit your younger ones anymore, or you're just too tired of looking at and taking up too much space in the closet. Please bring it with you, and we'll make sure that it gets to within organizations in Cherokee County so we can give back and make sure our kids are warm and comfortable when they go to school.
And pro tip, just what I've done the last couple of years is I take a couple of my jackets that I haven't worn, I take them to the dry cleaner to make sure they're nice and neat. If they're missing a button or they have a small tear, I have the dry cleaner fix it. Cost me $7-8 to have them do that. It's nice and clean for the next person going to use it. You want them to feel loved.
Yes.
Is basically what Diana's doing, is she's sharing the love.
I'm sharing the love through warmth.
Yes, through warmth. And it does get cold. And for some reason, I get jackets all the time. And I wear like 3 or 4, and I must have 15 of them. Sweaters, jackets, scarves, gloves. If you don't have any, feel free to bring a cash donation or a Venmo. We'll make it.
We'll definitely put that to good use and make sure that our community gets it for sure, so that way they can do what they need to do with it.
Yeah, and I'm proud of all the charitable works that we do. We'll also be supporting the Boys and Girls Club with the $10 for each lunch. Last month we did a great thing in supporting Margie Steinmeier's, Stagmeyer, her charity, which is, claiming bad properties and making them good. I do want to invite you on November 14th. You'll probably be getting this a couple of days before the 14th. My wife and I, Donna, is much smarter, much better looking than I am, much nicer. Anybody that meets her says, "Go away, Mike."
We love us some Donna.
Yes, but we're going to do, Donna and I have been real estate coaches since 2006. We've been in the business for almost 90 years, well, over 90 years between the two of us. I'm 43, she's 38 years, so it's over 80 some odd years between us. We've been coaches and we've been training people on how to handle objections for decades, seriously. And we're going to say, stump the Stotts. This is your time. You can come and bring any objection and see if you can stump me. If you can stump me, I'll buy you a drink. Although I've never had to buy a drink so far. Here's the only rules. It has to be an objection that you've actually heard, not one that you're making up. So I'm not going to handle, well, somebody says, I'm thinking about buying a pit bull, and what do I do if it bites somebody? I'm not going to worry about what ifs. But if you've heard, your price is too high or any of those things, we're going to give you some ways to handle virtually any objection in a way that moves the conversation forward. And speaking of moving the conversation forward, we have a $100,000 tip today. Diana, have you ever been with a client and it's just gotten to that awkward pause moment?
No, never. It's never awkward. No.
Yes. Where you sit there and you're just like, they say, well, we want to think about it, or thanks for your time. And if you're in their house or you're somewhere, they're actually like holding the front door open and they're making this little waving motion behind your back.
Nope, never happened to me. Nope. But if it has happened to you, there's always a great way to ask some questions to kind of further dig a little bit more. That way it's not such a like, all right, okay, thanks, bye. It's having a conversation and turning the next chapter and redirecting that conversation.
Right. We're salespeople. Let's show them we're professional salespeople. So, Diana, pretend you're a buyer and just say, well, I'm not sure about this house.
You know what? I'm not so sure about this house. It kind of gives me weird vibes.
Well, Diana, what price would make this home too good of a deal to pass up?
Well, $5.
Yeah, there you go. And so Diana, they're just asking too much for the house.
Well, yeah, they might be asking too much, but, think about all the items that you're going to get with it. We can negotiate some furniture items as well, and, it's great conditions.
How much is too much?
Exactly.
You can always throw it around. Tommy Hopkins, old sales trader, he used to say, you don't want to hold the porcupine. So they give you the porcupine. The house is too much. Give it back to them. How much is too much? So, Diana, the yard is too big.
Well, with the big yard, you have plenty of room so you don't really see your neighbors. I think that's a great thing.
Okay.
And
Yep. How about they say, well, we'll be in touch. You ever hear that?
I've heard that. And it's like, you know what? Absolutely. How about we reconnect on the 17th?
I'll call you on the 17th and get their approval to do that. Yeah. And my favorite is they want to think it over. They want to pray about it. My favorite prayer is I hold their hands and I say, Dear God, please let the Smiths know that you sent me here to them today. All teasing aside, but you could ask them, what is it specifically that you'd like to think over? What is it? Get some more details. And even if you don't have the answer then, it gives you a reason to follow up. I was thinking about what you were saying.
Yeah. And
this is what my other clients have done with that. So this is the $100,000 tip. Meaning it'll make you that much money over the course of the next 4, 5, 10 years. So long as when you hit that stall, just think of an additional question to ask. And I have these wired into my brain so they just come out. And somebody says the yard is too big, the house is too small. My immediate reaction is always, well, how big is too big? How small is too small? How much is too much? Could you tell me more about that? We just play with it there. And as always, man, we are leaders, educators, and advocates. We know you guys are great. If you have any questions, if you disagree with anything, email me, mike.stott@mac.com. If you think Diana's wonderful like I do, email her at Diana
at Hornets Group.
There you go. Thanks, everybody. Diana, 2 N's, and we'll see you all at the general membership
Yeah,
meeting.
see you there.